You're listening radio feature Kachy Dhagy, produced by MS Professional Track Final Semester, written, produced and directed by Kanza Mansur. Narrated by Sayyida Fiza, supervisor Adil Aziz. Department of Mass Communication, Lahore College for Women University.
Gathered under the shadow of a neem tree, women of the village sat there singing Punjabi boliyan, while adorning a fabric with beautiful patterns and flowers, with needles in their skillful hands, using a variety of colorful threads.
ਸੋਰੇ ਸੋਰੇ ਕਰਦੀਓ ਕੁੜੀਓ ਕੀ ਸੋਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਨੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਖਣ ਦੀਆਂ ਚਾਹਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਖਣ ਦੀਆਂ ਚਾਹਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਗੁੜ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਨੀ ਰੰਗ ਬਦਲ ਗਿਆ 2 ਦਿਨ ਸੋਰੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਨੀ ਰੰਗ ਬਦਲ ਗਿਆ
The dhaga, thread, used to be woven on charkhas by skilled hands. Thread is long, thin and flexible form of material used in sewing and making patterns on clothes by a needle. A variety of threads are available in market today, including cotton, nylon, silk, wool threads and many more. Embroidery is a vital part of wardrobe of any woman.
मैं आलिया तारिक बोल रही हूँ। हम मेरी बेटी की शादी है तो उसके निकाह के लिए जोड़ा लेने
I came here to buy a dress for my daughter's nikah, which is in a month's time. We liked hand-embroidered dresses, and if materials like tilla dabka are used, it's even better. Some people like hand-embroidered and others like machine-embroidered clothes. Machine embroidery is mostly for casual shirts as it is cheaper. For bridal work, hand embroidery is preferred with tilla, dabka, kora to give it a more fancy look. Some people like hand embroidered and others like machine embroidered clothes. Machine embroidery is mostly for casual shirts. For bridal work, hand embroidery is preferred with tilla, dabka, kora to give it a more fancy look, even though it's expensive as compared to machine embroidery.
Hand embroidery is an art of adorning fabric using thread, yarn and needle. This art form started during the Iron Age and has been passed down from generation to generation. Each type of embroidery needs careful concentration skills and expertise and hours of workers' time. Embroidery is an orientation of a fabric. Actual gold and silver threads were being used back in the day by kings and rich nawabs. Today's designing process seems more global, complicated and multidimensional with the introduction of fusion cuts and silhouettes. However, traditional Muslim embroideries hold a steadfast hand in Pakistan still.
फरहान अनारकली 1987 से शॉप है ये वाली ना ब्राइडल ड्रेसेस की लहंगों की
I'm Farhan from Anarkali. This shop is from 1987. Bridal dresses, sari, maxi, lehenga and heavy dresses all are available on our shop. Dabka, resham, kora, beads, kagri, zarkar are used in embroidery. People mostly like handwork in bridal dresses. Customers now bring piece of magazine for reference and want to copy designers' designs even if we have better options. Machine work is cheaper but customers like handmade work.
मिक्स करके छोटी-छोटी टुकड़ियां ये वो काफी सारी चीजें जो हैं वो अब लगनी शुरू हो गई हैं ब्राइडल्स में ये वो उनकी जद्दत बढ़ाने के लिए खूबसूरती.
Truly, during the Persian Mughal era, which is the source of Pakistan and Afghanistan's culture today, Creativity in embroidery was exceptionally preferred. Pure fabrics were preferred next, and silhouettes were the least important, which seems appealing to many Muslims. But then, how would the terms Shahi Mughal, Ganga Yamni or Nawabi be important? Embroidery in Pakistan has been present since its inception and has been a source of income for its craftsmen. Balochi Shishki, Balochi Tanka, Kachy Dhagy, Rali are famous embroidery styles in Balochistan. Sindhi Tanka, Ajrak, cross stitch, Kachy Dhagy are a beautiful artwork of thread on Sindhi cloths. Shadow work, Phulkari, Chunari are practiced in Punjab. Zanjeer Tanka, Kashmir Dandi Tanka, Swati embroidery and beadwork and chicken curry are demanded and loved in Kashmir and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Livelihood of people, especially living in rural areas, are still associated with the embroidered fabric. Embroidery used to be an art that was taught from generation to the next and learned by passionate students. Embroidery techniques are not just embroidery techniques. They speak for the country's rich cultural heritage and what it possesses in terms of art and history. Embroidery industry has flourished in Pakistan. When we see the provincial capital of Punjab, there are 3 big markets famous for embroidery in Lahore: Dupatta Gully Liberty, Bano Bazar Anarkali, and Ichra. According to the embroiderers of Lahore,
जी वालेकुम बिलाल तकरीबन 65 to 70 अब ज़्यादा मशीन मेड में आ गया
I am Bilal.
हमारा जो मेन काम
This is 65 to 70 years old shop. Now machine work has started, but our work is mostly based on hand embroidery, which is handmade zari, dabka, koda dabka, nakshi for bridal wear. China has copied everything, but handmade dastkari embroidery is such a work that China is not able to copy till date. Handmade embroidery material is not expensive, but the labor is costly. If a bridal lehenga is made, at least 20 to 25 workers work on it for at least 20-25 days, a month or 2. There was a time when craftsmen used to come on buses and shopkeepers didn't value them, but now they have Corolla cars. Whatever stuff they bring from labor, the shop owner has to sell it.
20 दिन 25 दिन महीना 1.5 महीने 2 महीने के टाइम पीरियड में वो चीज़ तैयार होती है.
Anarkali remains one of the oldest surviving markets in South Asia, dating back at least 200 years. While Liberty Market is new and an important part of the social and economic culture of the city of Lahore. Eid or wedding, women go to these markets to get their dresses embroidered with unique and beautiful patterns. These markets are especially famous for formal bridal work. Heavily embroidered bridal gowns, lehengas, frocks, and maxis are made in these markets. Handmade embroidery is of 2 types, Ar and Musalme. Are commonly called Ari. The work starts from here. Then the needlework is done, which is called Musalme. Different notes, materials, and countless hours are spent on making one perfect dress for the client.
I am Saftar from Bareed. I have worked for 28 years in a batik. I came in Liberty in 2013. First work was delicate, now it is loud. Big stones, stars, crystals and massive patterns of embroidery are in fashion these days. The work is good, but payment is low. Customer says there is not enough material embroidered on clothes and pay very less for the work. This is the reason there are less students willing to learn.
Zari, dabka, moti, sitara and other such materials are used to make formal dresses. Machine embroidery is like to do in this type of intricate work. Embroidery has always been a time-consuming, delicate art of work. Worker spends hours sitting on adda, but he is not given the due amount for his hard work.
मेरा नाम रज़ाक है शरपुर शरीफ का मैं रहने वाला हूँ
I am Razak from Sharakpur Sharif. I am working from 22 years. We work for 8 hours and get 700 daily wage for 8 hours. Handwork can't be replaced by machine. People like machine work because in less money a good dress can be made.
तो फिर नुकसान है जो मेहनत होगी नहीं तो करेंगे क्या ये जो हाथ का है ना ये मशीन नहीं ले सकती चाहे जो मर्जी कर ले
The shopkeepers who have started to call themselves designers take a considerable amount from the customers and pay very little to the hands who created the embroidered fabric. Whether it's shop of Anarkali, Ichra or Liberty, every shop owner has his own soap story to tell. And in all this, the hard work of the worker is being neglected. Where it used to be 50 workers working on a adda unit, now their number is becoming low day by day. The passion for learning this art is lost due to the underpaid work. It has become a business. Embroidered clothes are brought on low cost from rural areas and are being sold at 3 times more price by Thekedar. Thekedar is exploiting the craftsman. The bridal and formal dresses cost hundreds of thousands of rupees. People pay lakhs for one dress to keep up the standard of the society. Embroidery industry has played a very significant role in the development of economy of the country. According to the small industry MD, Parvez Butt.
Government of Pakistan, especially the government of Punjab, has many projects in which females are given training of embroidery. The embroidery is consisted of many various stitches which make the embroidery more stylized. The stitches and embroidery styles vary from region to region. The technical education of embroidery, siali, kadahi, dastkari, are mostly designed for uneducated women for their livelihood. The technical and vocational training enhance the capabilities of semi and unskilled female into skilled ones. The TEFTA, PSDF, PVD, Sanatzar, PCIS has network of skill training centers and projects. PVD conducted 222 institutes in Punjab. 321 Sanatzar are all in the Pakistan, in which home and fashion tailoring and embroidery are part of the training. The hand machine embroidery is also included. The government of Punjab cater the women of far-flung areas through ADP schemes, in which the unskilled females are given designs or materials for product development, the loan provision for purchase of material, or start their own businesses.
Punjab government is doing great deal to support Pakistani dastakari, but craftsmen is still neglected.
The government of Punjab preserves and promotes traditional and actual embroidery through training and exhibition of their products. The major contribution of PSIC, Government of Punjab, is publication and craft of design.
This art cannot finish, but is learned by very few people now because it does not meet their needs. Dastakari is an art which is losing its artists. Listeners, you are listening radio feature Kachy Dhagy, produced by MS Professional Track Final Semester, written, produced and directed by Kanza Mansab, narrated by Sayyida Fiza, supervisor Adil Aziz, Department of Mass Communication, Lahore College for Women University.